Hello, friends. Today I'm covering one of my favorite pairs of boots ever. These are my white smoke jumpers, and these were my first ever hand welted whites boots. Right before I bought these, I bought a pair of Nicks used on eBay, and they just didn't fit right. I bought my normal size, my normal boot size, same size as my Red Wing, and they just I guess have a narrow foot, a long narrow foot. And anyway, they were swimming in the last, but so that was it for Nicks for me, and those are actually the last pair of Nicks I got. But I bought these. These were factory seconds. This was the time before Whites put all their factory seconds on the website. And you could call them, and I think you could still do that. You call them and go, "Hey, what kind of factory seconds do you have on the sales floor?" And they'll just walk you through it. They'll tell you. They sent me photos of these, and I bought them, and they arrived, and I've been happy with them ever since. Now, if you're looking at them, I've owned these for like 2 or 3 years, maybe at least 2.5 years. They're broken in. They feel real comfortable. I've worked in them, but they don't look that worn. They don't look that broken in. And that's for a few reasons. One, just incredibly durable materials. Just this leather. This is like their classic brown Seidel work boot. Flesh over, rough out, cowhide. It just takes a beating. You got the rough out on the bottom, and it's got these marks, but it just kind of eats it. It really, really eats a lot of the wear. And then the other reason is that I don't work in them enough because they're too nice. They're just too nice to work in. And that's like, I'm going to kind of die on that hill. It's like, they're too nice boots. They're too nice to work in. Now, I work on a farm and I work around dirt and manure. Okay. So dirt and manure eats any boots, no matter how nice your boots are, no matter how durable. You get the thickest, the Nicks indestructible boots, the Rose Anvil Nicks ND ones or whatever. Like, no matter how thick the leather is, it's still going to be eaten. It's going to be eaten for breakfast by manure. Like, cow manure is just full of acid and stuff. Now, you can still have leather boots around cow manure, but most farmers I know, they actually where I'm from in upstate, there's like a truck that shows up, and he's got, I think these days he carries just Georgia work boots. And every farmer I know, he comes about once a year, and they get new work boots every year. That's what they do. They get their cheap Georgia work boots. And, it's not a great system, but it makes sense because, again, cow manure, dirt, certainly if you're on cement, I mean, God help you, it just eats any leather for breakfast, no matter how thick that leather is. It could be stuffed with all the oils and waxes of God. It's still going to just be, again, eaten for lunch, by all that stuff, by the elements. Now, when do you get into how do you actually get your value from a great work boot, from a Nicks Hotshot, from a white smoke jumper? And that is, if you're literally a smoke jumper or a lineman, and you aren't getting your boots aren't being dunked in mud and manure every day, but you're still in a volatile situation. You're hitting stuff. You're around lots of rocks and rubble and dust. Like, your leather can take all of that. And a lot of farmers I know are wearing those mucks. They're wearing rubber because, frankly, rubber is, well, first of all, it's cheaper, and it is better with manure. Like, I got a buddy farmer I know who I actually gave him a pair of Iron Rangers, and you couldn't even tell what model boot they were, 6 months into him wearing them. And I really should have sent photos to Red Wing because I think, well, first of all, maybe they'd get a kick out of it, but also I'd be like, dude, sponsor this man. He's a shepherd. He's always around sheep and stuff, and not crazy. He's not knee deep in manure, but still. And I think that's something that's not talked about enough in this world of work boots and heritage boots and getting the nicest quality boots in the world. Is the harshest jobs are, they're going to destroy these boots no matter how nice they are. So that brings me to these whites, where I'm kind of a mixture between, I guess, like a hipster and then like I'm a poser, and then I also do the real deal. which I kind of like. It makes me empathetic to both sides. Like, for example, I wear one of my jackets. I wear a Filson hunting jacket, and it's camo. And my buddy the other day, she was like, "You wear this for both reasons. You know, you wear this because you're actually a hunter, and you're also just wearing it because you think it looks cool." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's true." So, I'm a farmer, but I'm also a barista. I do that for fun sometimes, and I like slinging lattes for mustached and the glasses wielding, what is it, 2009? You know what I mean? I've worn these more like as a barista on the job than I have on the farm. In fact, I've never worn these like out into like, into cow manure, into mud on a muddy day. I'd wear these to like go check fences and stuff, obviously. But I like even just getting them dunked in wet mud. It's gonna like, and that's fine. It won't destroy the boot, but like they're too nice. These are hand welted, right? How many boots in the that are made in the U.S. are hand welted? It's like there's a few small companies, Old Speed MFG, which is amazing, and I imagine Roll Club is, and Creosote, and probably some other makers that I'm blanking on or don't know about yet. And then the only like boot factory that's hand welting boots in the U.S. is White's. This is it. These white smoke jumpers are it. And, they're so goddamn nice. So if I'm going to really put a boot through its paces, now these could take it, but I don't want to. They're a work of art. I appreciate them more as just a beautiful boot, than I do just like, as work boots. Now, here's a pair of Filson Upland boots, and these are pretty new, but I did wear these hunting. And these I kind of put through the paces, and I think they're going to look great all the more for it. But like I'm willing to do that to this pair of boots. They're precious to me. I like them. They actually don't really make them anymore, but they're just a factory made boot. Ultimately, it's a great boot. It's a good looking boot. But I would rather put these through their paces. And even though these, like, they're just so nice, I'm still going to baby them a little bit. But I didn't baby these at all on the hunt. I just kind of, did whatever I was going to do. And, and then after that, I cleaned them and conditioned them, and they could actually use another coat. But, back to these smoke jumpers, like, I don't know if I'd wear these hunting. Now, partially because they're not the perfect hunting boot, but they're just too goddamn nice. That's that's kind of what this thing is about, I guess, is like, so you've got your Vibram 100 lug sole. I forget. I think the red means that it's fireproof, so this is just the regular one, but if that's a red X, that's fireproof. You got your screws, your stitching, your gorgeous hand welt, just the most beautiful rolled edge stitch in, hand sewn stitch down construction, or whatever they call it. And these edges here these are always messy with whites, and that's okay. There's always your big shelf, which I don't know why they do that, but, well, I guess because it would look ridiculous going more in, but it does show the incredible arch support that this boot provides. Just look at that. Look at the anatomical shape there. I just love the butt of all these boots with that, amazing stitching coming up to a point. You can see you can see the crocking from my jeans, and just beautiful. You have a lighter brown. I don't think I've ever conditioned these. You have a lighter brown highlight here in place of wear, where it creases a little bit, and just the two browns. They're just like great friends. Obviously, two different sides of the same coin. Brown leather laces, whites, handmade, Spokane, Washington. These are just, they're too nice to work in. I don't know. Maybe that'll be the titles, like our whites boots too nice to, I don't know if that's catchy, but, I dropped something on these. It was probably milk from a latte or something. Truth be told. I think it's funny that I do hard labor and I don't want to wear these for hard labor. Now, my whites Rose Anvil boots I kind of do, because those are just black flesh leather, flesh side. and you got the blood core. So it's like anything you throw at that, there's beauty kind of inside that leather waiting to come out. And they're also black. I don't know. There's something about a black boot that you just kind of want to bang up. And there's something about this brown boot that, like, I'll wear this to all kinds of working situations. I will wear this to work. I'll wear this in the shop, repairing something, and it kind of like, yard work, mowing, working, trying to fix a tractor, eventually giving up and, calling a buddy that knows a bit more than I do. But I will not wear these. I'm not going to get these covered in cow manure, If I do, that'll be okay. And again, they could take it. But, like, I'll be pretty... Will I be bummed? Nah, I'll be fine. Because I'll probably just be in the moment. You got to let yourself be in the moment. But these are too nice to freaking... They are. They're too nice to get covered in cow dung. So that's that. Yeah, anything else to cover? I mean, this year's... Oh, actually, these are not your standard white smoke jumper. These are 8-inch, which is pretty fun. 8-inch, this actually has an ungusseted tongue, which in the beginning I was kind of upset about, but now that I have a bunch of whites, it's like, well, it's great that one of them doesn't have a gusseted tongue. Soft toe. I love the way whites just... I don't know if it's about the construction, the hand-welted, stitched-down construction, but the rolls that whites boots get are just gorgeous. They just are. I've yet to have a pair of whites that doesn't have a beautiful roll. I've got my horsehide bounty hunters and my whites, the Rosanville ones that I've been wearing and loving. Like, I'm loving those a lot more. They just feel better than I thought they would. I might even do like a 1 month of those just because I'm enjoying them so much. If I'm dressing these up at all, and by dressing them up, I just mean like a nicer pair of jeans. I'm going to wear this belt. This is made by Treetop Goods on Etsy. He makes beautiful stuff. The Japanese brass buckle, and just a beautiful, beautiful cowhide from Horween. And then this is fun. I thought I'd share this because this is like this I bought in Marshall's years ago when I was a teenager. And this is what do you call it? This is, here you go. 100% cow leather made in India. I guess it doesn't have... Oh, it'll have the logo here. There you go. Look at that. Abercrombie and Fitch. Remember those days? And there's something cool about this belt because, it was made for the new Abercrombie. Of course, Abercrombie and Fitch in the 60s and earlier used to be, like a proper outfitter, like Filson was. But they became, the mall brand that many of us know about. But still, you could find a really great quality belt, kind of anywhere. And, there's something, just the simplicity of this is just 100% cowhide, and I still wear these all the time. And I actually wear these this belt a lot, just because of the perfect kind of medium brown shade of leather. Kind of, it matches a lot of things. The brass buckle, it's great, so that's kind of fun. Find good quality. Sometimes in the places where you least expect them. Okay, that's that. White's boots. I freaking love white so much. I like them more than Nick's. Sorry if you love Nick's. I mean, Nick's has their hardcore fanboys, which I really respect and appreciate. And Nick's is an amazing company. I just like, again, for some primal tribal reason, you feel like you got to pick one, and I've chosen whites, or whites has chosen me. Anyway, yeah, they're great boots. I love them. Everyone, if you have the money, you should try to get a pair of smoke jumpers. If you don't, they have some cheaper ones. You could also get these on, find them on sale or get a used pair or something, And in my case, I got a factory second. These were probably $330 or something, if I remember correctly. They're $330, which is pretty great. And I love them. I enjoy them. I guess I got to go enjoy them more. But yeah, one quick look. I mean, just a bit of wear on that heel. And that's it. And the other thing is, when I was breaking these in, I just couldn't wear them all day. And I still probably don't even wear them all day because they are just tough. Here, you kind of really feel it. It kind of hugs my foot over here with the instep. Might be just a little bit too small in the instep for me, but everything else feels good. And I'm willing to tolerate whatever pain they do give me because I just love them so much. Sizing is weird with whites. I like going through Baker's, send them a measurement. They'll be extremely helpful. They were extremely helpful to me. All right. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.